Ladies and Germans, how you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
Ringru, low, low, low.
And folks, more Tannenberg action today. And in fact, we're over here for some more monthly tournament material. Who do we have, sir? What are they bringing?
Left hand side in the blue, we have Stardekk playing Hermann Goran Panzer Division with an Maverick income. Right hand side in red, we have the Protoss playing 26 Guard Infantry, also with a Maverick income.
I'm excited to see Protoss. It's been a hot second since we've seen him here on the channels.
Indeed. And also a hot second since we've seen recon planes, which, well, usually not the case. But I do like how Protoss did open up with an M15 and completely annihilated that recon plane from actually getting anywhere for reconnaissance.
Yeah, I felt the ZSU was one of those moments, and forgive me, but the Boita material here, but the ZSU weapons platform, especially this one, is not an unsung hero, but it's freaking amazing.
You're also seeing Protoss push pretty heavy in the central position here. He's bringing Sturmovikis and Chernos to push through the forest, while Stardekk will be pretty much ignoring it. Instead, he is pushing quite heavily up north here. He's got a whole heap of Hermann Goring troops, well, goring towards the enemy, you could say.
But I love it. That's fair, but I feel myself always kind of being tentatively kind of blasé about town pushes because I know how they are, I want to be excited about them. I truly, truly do. I think I'm more excited about the 50 mil mortars over here in the central position.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice him, but yeah, the bunts in with the massive death blob of infantry, and this is a pretty scary blob, especially with the rocks mixed in as well. The 50 mils is also a very good choice. Use them for smoke, as well as just, routing out any stern pioneers. We are seeing the 410 once again coming in down south to try to get some reconnaissance, and we're also seeing Protoss move around a sneaky PTRS here, maybe try to get out Panzer IV.
Oh my gosh, you're absolutely right. Yeah, this is going to be... Oh, this is going to hurt. I was going to say as well, the weird thing for me is the M14s in the middle. You generally am my understanding of SD stuff, and given I'm not a successful player often, but you don't generally want to put vehicles by heavily forested areas. They tried doing that a couple times, like the Battle of the Bulge, and it didn't go always the best. But
Yeah, there's a potential of getting a PTRS from that distance. He mainly just needs a few more infantry squads to hold the edge of the forest, act as beacons pretty much to deter any pushes, yeah. But you're also seeing up north, the northern push is actually going quite well here for Stardekk. He's got that Jagdpanzer IV, which is such a powerhouse unit, like such a cost-effective tank you can bring up, heavily armoured, great armament. I mean, 26 does have some decent tanks, KV-1s and the KV-85s, but especially right now, there's not a whole lot Protoss can do about Jagdpanzer.
You mean other than that ZIS-3 that's got him, at 1,000 meters?
Yeah, but the ZIS-3 can't really penetrate him at long range. He's gonna need like a ZIS-2.
Yeah, so I guess sometimes when things aren't broke, why do you fix them? Stalin just has to kind of get in there and Stalin it up a bit.
No, the ZIS-2 is too good because I had him in production in 41. But then they figured out, oh, right, we don't need this. This is too much against Panzer IIs and Panzer I's. So they took him out of service. And then when the heavy tanks started showing up, like later model Panzer IVs and all of that, they're like, oh crap, we need to put these guns back into service.
So you're saying the issue with them is that they were stalling at the wrong times?
Yes. Well, at the right times. It made sense. It's just funny how the more powerful gun was pulled out of service purposely. If my history recalls, you can correct me in the comments.
Yeah, I can certainly see that. Because you don't, the same reason like the whole like BAR back in the First World War thing. We don't want the Germans to get this kind of stuff, right? Yeah. But a 45 mil over here could take us some fire from HMG. I am surprised that Stardekk's push in the north has been as successful as it has been. Not as a reflection of the generalship, but just because town fights are not supposed to go this well.
Yeah, it's just he has much better infantry, especially at longer distances.
Hmm.
And Protoss just doesn't have anything to really do with a Jagdpanzer. Especially in a map like this where town fights are very open-ended, just due to how open the flanks are on this map. It really just comes down to long-range firepower. And you are seeing Protoss actually bring in an IS-1 to try and counter the Jagdpanzer.
And in exchange, though, we also see a Ju-87 and a 410. So the 410 into spot, because the KV, the other KV that was right there did go down. And I'm finding myself wondering, he's going to see the IS-1 Camarati. Is a Ju-87 also here for the IS-152, maybe?
He could also snipe out as well. There's no anti-aircraft coverage here, and no fighters on the field right now, so he pretty much has easy pickings if that recon plane can come back round.
Well, 37 mils going after the IS-1. Oh, Yak
Oh,
9 just jumps him at the wrong
two of
time.
them.
Yikes.
Yeah, that was definitely a very good save there from Protoss. I mean, you don't want to be losing at IS-1. It's the only bloody run which he gets available. But I was also I can guess that was a panic buy from Protoss getting two Yak 9s, so that's going to slow him down a bit and getting some more ground forces to try to deter this northern push.
Yeah, that's one thing we don't always spend a huge amount of time on, and that's the econ behind a lot of these decisions. But IS-1 over here, he's not there to necessarily push back out. You can see here at this point, a couple flags would be nice to have, but is that really the most beneficial usage of material right now? Or do you throw more material in the center and try to rupture that? Or even more so, maybe even push down to the south? Like, what do you do? You're in PZ's position. What do you do?
Probably just try to rupture center. He already has a pretty good spot and a lot of infantry here. It's gonna take a lot of manpower, material, blood, sweat, tears, all of that to try to retake the northern position, especially when you're having to fight pretty heavily with infantry. With his heavy tanks, he can currently just zone out that spot and deter, you know, Stardekk from pushing up any further. So yeah, Protoss should probably just try to push central or south.
I think that's a fair kind of commentary here. ISU 152, getting bedeviled by that P4 that for some reason was never engaged by the PTRS.
Oh, walked right by him, and now the PTRS is making the long haul back, probably trying to get a rear shot into that Panzer 4G.
Yep. So I'll take a quick look over here. IS 152. Oh, he's called both of those bad boys in. So, not sure really what the immediate prognosis is going to be. But I have to tell you right now, I'm not feeling the most confident about it.
Yeah, Protoss is just getting pushed very heavily in both town positions. Stardekk managing to mop up down south as well. And the problem is that Protoss does have, good long-range fire support. The ISUs and IS-1s are bloody fantastic, and they can go toe-to-toe against Panzer IVs, but he doesn't have anything to actually push. He doesn't have infantry in the front line in this area. It's all going to have to bank on this central position and push. And that can be juicy. There's two flags he can take. But the problem is, he doesn't really have any anti-tank here. And those M14s are actually in a good spot, because there are no PTRSs to PTRS him to death.
There is a piece of me that wonders about the sanity. Yep, he's just going to try to barrage him to death. Question is he going to try to use smoke or just freak them out? Because the Chernos, I'm not sure the first thing I'd be thinking is, oh yes, I need somebody to run face first into a bunch of bullets. So yeah, Chernos are the guys to do it.
He's going to be using the 50 mils, but they're not that effective against tanks. He's going to stress them out, but there's still two more tanks. And he only has so much ammunition with those 50 mils.
Very, very true. Very true. And if that wasn't enough, Stardekk has one thing that we haven't talked about, which can totally just be so much fun to watch go boom boom, and that is, of course, the Noble Stromtiga, available in 15 seconds at a store near you.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot. That's actually a pretty good counter to ISU 152s. They bring the 152, you bring the Naval Depth Charge Launcher.
Exactly, exactly. They lost a dustbin at you, you fire back 380 millimeters of just high explosive.
What were the
But
honestly? What were the Germans thinking? Like
well,
using that thing? That's my question.
that's why they call it the Wunderwaffe. I mean, the wonder weapon. Like, I wonder what they were thinking. Like, that's really the way to think about it.
Yeah, I
And
know for the Tiger, they had to actually use high school engineers to operate it
yes,
because it was so bloody complicated, the entire rocket system.
well, they had to have a crane on the back of the thing, and they had to come
Yes.
outside to reload it. And here's a 600 mil off map, which, for the record, might be the first off map we've seen. I think in 4 casts, 5 casts.
Oh my
It's
god, you're
amazing.
right. And it's gonna be an explosive entrance.
The irony is, it looks like everybody and the mother's already running away from that. So unless there's some massive spread on this, these Sturmpyos are going to probably pick up these Sharners before they even get started.
That's some very good micro from Protoss, realizing, what is about to go down, and that's going to deter off map quite heavily here. Because those guys, apart from that one Sturmoviki, will get out of dodge. However, this isn't complete. Okay, it's getting a little bit completely worthless as the Chernos do get very good ambers on their Sturmpires. Whoa! Never mind. Holy crap.
Okay, so just as a... That was over 500 meters of devastation. 500 in terms of, like, diameter. So let's just do a bit of rough calculation there. So my math's a little rusty. That's 2,500 square meters high of just suppression. That was one round. One round. Like that's the booms that we need and love. Like, why don't we see more of that?
That's
Stardekk,
insane.
fire again, he says, sending another one in.
I completely forgot just how nutty. I believe actually like the massive railway gun, if I recall.
A 600 mil? Yeah, it's like that's like Carl Gustav's big brother.
Good God. You don't even have to, you just have not even general zip code, just a general state and you hit.
Yeah. Yeah. And that state is either independence, confusion, or denial. Like, that is absolutely devastating. Like, I know we're missing the KV-85, just took out a P4 down to the south. There's SU-85, ISU-152, so Protoss is slowly putting together, a scratch kind of defense over here in the south. The north is still, kind of a bit of an issue here, but I can't look away from this next round, which is going to go and kill at least 2 squads.
Yeah, he's probably also going to kill his own troops, yeah. So certain pioneers probably want to evacuate the dance floor.
I think what he's doing here is just having them just kind of fix the enemy position, but you're absolutely right. And I mean, yeah, you'll hit some his own guys, but he'll kill theirs as well.
Oh. Come on, where's the kaboom?
There it is.
Woo.
Ladies and gentlemen, we call it the Longshanks Barrage. And as you can see right here, it certainly is effective and terrifying. Like, I feel like I need to take a moment just to kind of, compose myself after that.
Yeah, good God. That definitely has weakened Protosoccer's position in the center. He has finally brought up a tank, a KV-1, to deal with these Italian tanks, but it's a little bit too late now. He's going to need some more troops. And Protoss has just been investing pretty heavily in armored support, and he has a good amount of armor. It can go toe-to-toe with Stardekk. The problem, once again, though, is that he's going to need infantry, and good infantry, to push into these towns. And, well, Chernos are not that infantry. Even with all this fire support, you need something which can survive a little bit better.
Stormjigger to the south, I'm wondering if we're going to get a shot off before the KV-85 gets a shot. Well, he's not going to get a shot off before the KV-85 gets a shot, but we might see a shot. It's up. It's going to freak him out something fierce. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and the final 600 mil barrage, or I say barrage, round is probably going to get a chance. Oh, no, he doesn't get it off in time.
Shame.
Yep, but I think one of those Yak 9s will probably pay the price for it.
Oh, there's a Tiger up north as well, and he's going long distance on IS-1.
Yeah, he's going for distance and going for speed, but he certainly wasn't the one we had here in our hour of need. So.
Yeah, I understand why the Storm Tiger doesn't one-hit kill tanks on a direct hit for balance reasons, but by God, I really wish it did.
No, for that you have to play Company of Heroes too.
Yeah.
Like you know that's
Or
a
War
go-to thing.
Thunder, or Rotor Tanks.
That's true. That's true. Those serious war simulation games.
Oh, 2-3 run-up north going for a bit of a flank. Could potentially sideshell the ISU.
And he's lost that chance. As he plays Plinko, and there's nothing else. There's a grill now firing a 150 at That's unfortunate.
Yeah, Stardekk just has very good defensive positions. He's managed to zone out Protoss at long range and just kind of forcing him to play at long range game. And Protoss is trying to bring in infantry to assault these positions, but this is too much infantry dug in from Stardekk's side, too much fire support to actually break on through.
You know what? I'm gonna have to eat crow here for a second. Those M14s are still alive. They were placed in just the perfect amount of position. So Stardekk, I gotta take that back. Well done, sir. Well done.
Now it's the same Protoss didn't bring a PTRS scroll to into that central town push or central forest push, because he could have knocked out those M14s pretty easily, and then just capture the rest of the central position, which would have been pretty huge.
I think he failed to talk to the Lord of the PTRSs about securing some of his noble lackeys. I mean, vassals for his usage. So that might be the issue there.
It's a throne of PTRS rifles. Like, screw the Iron Throne. I want a PTRS throne.
That's legitimately how I was thinking about it, and that's like, watch that barrel. An IL-2 for some reason being rather plucky. Between 20 mils and the SDKF Z10-4s. So I remind you guys, that is a 20 mil on the back of that thing, and even the flying brick, I don't think is impervious to such rounds.
He is getting buggered. Protoss has at least managed to stabilize it to an 11-13, so he is in a bit of a better position. But we are entering into sea phase, and actual offensive operations for Maverick on Maverick gets rather slow.
And they're going to get slower still, I think, for PZ, because we are seeing a couple of Tigers being brought on in. One from the south going north, and one in the north just saying, well, I don't feel like stretching my legs that much.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see now even the ISU 152, the northern side, takes out a, Jagdpanzer is really well done with that. Unfortunately, he's got one shot left, and I don't think he really is looking forward to throwing that away. So,
he does need to get a resupply truck over here to keep ISU from being completely ineffective. And we are seeing Protoss slowly make territorial gains in the town positions, but it's just not fast enough. Yeah.
And I think that's the important way to kind of contextualize it, is that it's not fast enough. And that's kind of the consistent message here.
There's just too much infantry he's going to have to dig through. We are seeing the Sturmtiger push up once again down south. I hope he tries to blap those Strafnikis, because he can completely annihilate them.
Well, northern side, one Sturmtiger engages the ISU 152. Doesn't kill. But, I mean, that wasn't super likely in the first place, I suppose. Jagdpanther, crew killed. Courtesy of your kind.
Stormtiger down south gonna be firing.
And he does very, very well.
Strafniki are going to be running rail. Actually, that wasn't that deadly, considering the caliber.
Well, that's a gun of a different caliber. If you're looking for deadly, you don't go Sturmtiger. You want just almost purely suppression with them, and that's what you get. But here's the interesting thing, actually, as you look to the center. That central position is starting to fold.
Yeah.
Not quite like a cheap card table. This is more like that folding chair that you sit on and you realize that it's kind of like, if you move in the wrong way, it's going to just break. That's what's going on right now.
The M14s are providing some run-over effective fire support here to give his infantry the actual leg up against these rather scary CQC Sturmovikis.
And the SDKFZs are also there too, so we also have just, that lovely, lovely MG42 just in light support.
The KV-1's going to be pushing up. He's going to get some very clutch kills here. There should be a pretty easy target practice for him considering his thick armor.
Well, I'm finding myself wondering... Oh, Panzerfaust, this is going to be fun. Panzerfaust, it's up. He's jumping out. Yep, 2 M14s are down, but Faust... And that's exactly what happens.
Lovely jubbly. Very clutch kill here from Stardekk. And we are seeing the Strafniki still holding on to their positions. But there's a lot of Panzer Grenadiers he's going to get through. That Tiger's in a very good spot up in, in the northern area of the southern part of the map. Getting some long range shots here on the infantry.
Yeah, and it's nice to have the KV-85, but you have to kind of go and unfortunately swing it maybe a little bit further to the south, which is kind of a tough perspective because you don't know where half of his anti-tank is. And I mean, geez, you can just see more and more Jagdpanzers just being snuck all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually one of the things Protoss could have been using is artillery. That's one of the big advantages of 26.
Sure.
You know, good Andrusia barrage, some off-map. I mean, it'd be hard for him to get off-map to actually hit either the north or southern town just due to the distances. But
Speaking
he
of,
needs
by the way,
to...
forgive me for cutting you off. Look to the northern side, you'll see he actually is in fact using some of that artillery.
Oh, there we go.
A little bit late to the front, I think.
Yeah, because that definitely could have helped out quite a bit in rounding out those tanks as well as infantry and giving him, you know, an opportunity window to actually get a good foothold into his positions.
True. Very, very true. We did see a Sturmtiga take out an ISU 152 down to the south. I think eventually the ISU just was tired of getting shot at and just said, you know what, guys, I'm throwing in the towel.
I'm done with my demo of life.
Exactly.
I hand in my copy.
And it happens again to the northern side. So those guys are 2 for 2 right now.
Not bad. I guess if you shoot enough 380mm shells at something, you can solve most of your problems. You just need some high-skill engineers.
Yeah, who knew that such a thing would be worthwhile here? Kind of interestingly, the Sturmtiga down south has just been getting more and more ordnance placed right back into it. But there is a Tiger that's being engaged by the ZIS-3. Now, to your point, ZIS-3 can technically penetrate, but just probably won't.
Nope.
And he realizes it and backs off. So.
We're seeing a run of 5 being brought out here from Stardekk. Think he's going to try and counter battery the artillery? Or no, he's going after the ISU 152. Or ZIS-3. He's going after something.
But it's a good choice. I agree with that. Tiger E and the P4 engaging KV-1s, Su-85s. And probably the Sturmtiga, watch it go and probably take out 2 or 3. Well, can't take out 3 of them. But between all of that panicking right now it's just an Su-85. Yeah, this one feels like it's a little bit out of reach right now for PC.
Yeah, he's just not been able to trade efficiently in this match, and Stardekk just has very good dug-in positions.
And there is a tap over there, and honestly, he lasted a lot longer than I would have, so really well done on that one.
Yeah,
now,
and
please.
Pretty average KD, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, ISU 152, exactly. If you look at it, of course. 4 or 5 kills there, 4 or 5 kills there, including several vehicles. Heck, KV-1, clubbing seals. So, I mean, it's not like they were without weapon systems. It's just that the weapon systems, I think, were unfortunately not able to come together, let's say.
Yeah, Stardekk just managed to stall for time long enough to make it worth his while. And then looking at his kills, the 600mm doing actually alright. I kind of expect more from a Karga up, but, the trees definitely got hit, that's for damn sure. The Tiger doing pretty damn good. I think it makes them a tank ace. And that's really it in the losses side.
And the losses side is not a whole lot. I mean, it's the ISU 152s. Those are the real heroes here. Forgive me, but I can't cheer for Polakov's 4 ground kills because the thickest armor on that was from a recon car. Um, so unfortunately, I'm happy to see PZ kind of return to SD2. I'm happy to kind of cast a Stardekk any day of the week and twice over here on Thursday. And honestly, I'm not too torn up. I'm happy to see Falchion Panzer with the Hermann Göring division. There's always, I think, it was a soft spot in my heart for them.
Aiming for the big kabooms.
Exactly. I just give me my kabooms and I'll be happy. Any final thoughts, though, sir?
Oh.
Alrighty, guys. Until next time, then, I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangru. Take it easy.